So Uber just completed their Q1 2023 earnings call, and apart from what CEO Dara Khosrowshahi and Nelson Che, Uber CFO, just said, we also saw some really interesting takeaways from their supplemental info. So if you don't want to watch the whole 45-minute call, I want to give you a summary of the most important points talked about, including this supplemental info that cites a 43% earnings increase for their mobility platform drivers from Q1 of 2023 compared to Q1 of 2019, pre-pandemic levels. But also a part of that, again, CFO Nelson Che and Dara Khosrowshahi, Uber's CEO, Dara cited a 22% gross bookings increase on their basis point increase year over year. It's never been stronger, and their goals and expectations for the company have never been stronger. Dara was asked about AI and how much of a focus they're putting on AI. That's huge right now. I mean, it seems like every company, from both the business aspect to the consumer experience, are looking at AI right now in some way or the other. So Khosrowshahi said they're looking full stack, like really the entire length of the platform of how to incorporate AI. That it's really going to be used for devs, for their development team, whatever it is, coding, what have you, to make that more streamlined, what he called like super devs. And it makes sense. I've seen AI for like video editing per se, that it'll help. That's what it does. It helps you with the process. So Khosrowshahi was talking about using AI in that sense. Also, to tailor more rider experiences and preferences. So he mentioned, let's say you're getting picked up at the airport, that AI would know what flight you're on, basically when you're arriving, and have a suggestion for a pickup, and know what cars you typically prefer as well. When asked about incentives, so if you're a rideshare driver or a courier on Uber Eats, incentives like bonuses, those are down, and just generally, surge is down as well. This is something that I have been talking about since really the Q4 2022 earnings call. And I think even maybe into Q3, I'm pretty sure, where Uber cited less costs paid per trip. And it makes sense. We saw the same thing from DoorDash, by the way, and their call is this week on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern at the time of filming this video. What you're looking at right now is supplemental info. So you can get some info from this while I'm also giving you a summary here as well. Surge, yes, it is down Q4 of 2022 compared to Q1 of 2023. Now, it is also increasing rider sessions. So look, I mean, I want you to make as much money as possible. This is why you're staying educated. If there's less surge, Khosrowshahi, Uber CEO, cited it's going to have more rider sessions. A session is basically when you go in the app and you're looking for a ride. So if a rider knows there's less surge or less expenses, then they can go to like, well, I'll open Uber before competitors and I have more confidence I can get a better deal. Now, obviously, as a driver, and listen, this is the same thing that I warned on Uber Eats, that I have not seen surge here in Pittsburgh really for most of Q1. I think it started. I'm opening my app right now. It is almost 9 a.m. at the time of filming this. Still no surge, but even on weekends, afternoons, evenings, I have not seen surge. It's concerning. This is why you want to multi-app and also look at other business opportunities as well. Hopefully that's something that we can see start up again. It is not a surprise that we're starting to see less surge pay, and I'm thinking we might see a softening from DoorDash as well, Q3 and Q4 this year. 20% of airport drops are Uber Reserve. I mean, Khosrowshahi says it's a new product, but the ability to reserve an Uber ride has been around for years. So I'm thinking like the reimagined Uber X Share, which was Uber Pool years ago. It's just a different flavor of the same thing. But anyway, they were citing Uber Reserve there. UberOne, their membership program, continues to be a little bit smaller of an emphasis on this call. I think in Q4's call, they really leveraged UberOne, their monthly, again, subscription program. 4 times more spending from these members per Khosrowshahi here. Another powerful thing that Uber has, CEO Khosrowshahi, also cited the power of their platform. really no one else has the cross-selling ability like Uber does. So if we take this to you, the driver or the courier, what does that mean for you? The more that Uber can cross-sell a mobility customer to try Uber Eats and vice versa, it's going to give you more customers. That's a good thing. We want them to cross-sell. And they also cited new platforms and options as well. We cited Uber Reserve. Again, upselling on Uber Eats, it is a good source of low-cost traffic that no one else has. Basically what that means, it's a lead generator. So what Khosrowshahi called, quote, journey ads, if you're on a rideshare ride and you get an advertisement, there's some revenue for the company. Now, journey ads, he cited, it's more so like traditional ads, I should say. So that's not necessarily cross-selling. Cross-selling would be you're on that Uber ride and then it says, hey, by the way, would you like to order from Uber Eats now so it can get to your destination shortly after your arrival? That would be an upsell. Journey ads, again, it's more like, hey, check out this company kind of thing. Khosrowshahi also cited better efficiency, which is leading to better margins and growth, which means more batching of orders. So those are more stacked orders, more batching, and a decrease in cost per transaction. Again, that's another thing that we're really watching closely here is a softening of incentive spend from Uber at large. Speaking of the advertisers are up 70% or 70 basis points year over year, which is a good thing. That's more revenue for the company. 20% of new riders are coming from different product segments. So this was Khosrowshahi again, citing Uber for business. What they're looking at large capacity vehicles for their mobility platform. They cited some international markets, Spain, Germany, and Turkey as promising, a little bit of a slower growth in South Korea and Japan. Now, here's where Khosrowshahi talked about journey ads. So now they're talking about actual advertisements. You'll get an ad when you're trying to place an order on Uber Eats. You'll get an ad as a mobility rider. Now, again, I'll cycle this back to you because what I do here is I help you make money in different side hustles. Anything that builds a positive experience for the end user, you're the other side of that equation as a driver or a courier. So if Uber's going to get more UberOne members, UberOne members spend, I think they said 4 times as much as non-members. They have more frequency, which means instead of ordering once per month, let's say, or 1.2 times, whatever the metric is, a UberOne member might do, 2.1 transactions per month across mobility and delivery. Now, obviously, that pairing comes from your experience as well. So that is why we're closely watching, surge and stuff like that, incentives, because it's always that happy medium of, giving a good experience to an end user, but that other side of the equation, the driver and the courier. Because if there's an imbalance there, that's where the company has to incentivize that driver or courier, usually with a surge or something else here. The ads here, Uber says they're getting a premium CPM, cost per mil. So the price that the company is paying for 1,000 ad impressions, the same thing that's here on YouTube. So that is a good revenue source for the company. Those journey ads and other ads in general, they're getting a premium CPM on it. Let's talk about you again. Listen to this if you're in mobility on the rideshare portion of Uber. This is directly from Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, and this is very interesting. So talking about ads, Khosrowshahi said they're excited about Cartop and tablet ads. That is also not something that's new. I mean, there's been talks and even pilots before for years on Uber with Cartop ads and tablets. But he said that it's a newer way to earn, and drivers that are in those markets with Cartop and tablets are earning an additional $100 a week. Obviously, it's going to depend on hours. It's going to depend on how many miles maybe you drive with that thing on the car. Talking about competitor growth, Nelson Che, Uber's CFO, cited forecasts for next quarter, the current quarter that we're in at the time of filming this, Q2. They expect 18 to 22% expected growth across mobility and delivery. Talking about competitor Lyft, Khosrowshahi cited that they don't see them going anywhere. That's a little more forgiving than my predictions for the company. I mean, I see Lyft really struggling. They're what? I haven't checked, but flirting with 52-week lows on their stock portfolio, or their stock position, I should say. And they're more solo channel versus omni-channel, which means they just really do ride share. And that is why Khosrowshahi cited, like, no one has the portfolio to be able to do rideshare and delivery. No one else does that. Nobody. DoorDash is just delivery and other deliverables, grocery convenience. Lyft is just rideshare, but no delivery and no deliverables. So Uber, I will 100% agree with that. No one else can do that, and that is a good thing for them. But Khosrowshahi said they don't see Lyft going anywhere, and they see it as a constructive, competitive environment. Moving on, as we finish the summary here, drop a like on this video, consider subscribing. Again, all I do here is help you make money in different side hustles. And DoorDash's call is this Thursday. UberOne accounts for 27% of gross bookings. And also they're focusing on new verticals as far as grocery experiences and more. So let me know your biggest takeaways from this summary here, and any questions you have, put that down below in the comments.